Breaking news: the Los Angeles Chargers are making headlines once again after a massive statement win over the Raiders, and the latest update will have every fan talking. This isn't just another recap, this is the kind of news that could change the way you look at the Chargers moving forward. Before we dive into the latest news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Now, let's get straight to it. The Chargers didn't just win, they dominated. From the first quarter to the final whistle, the team showed total control, a disciplined, calculated style of football that kept the Raiders on their heels all game long. This wasn't a chaotic shootout or a lucky finish, this was pure execution. Fans are already buzzing about the highlights, from the defense shutting down drives to Quentin Johnston's explosive touchdown and Keenan Allen making yet another clutch play. The energy around this team feels different. The Chargers are showing they're not just a playoff contender, they're a force that can't be ignored. And here's the kicker: the numbers after the game are even more impressive than you'd expect. When you dig into the box score, the story of this victory becomes crystal clear. What looked like a solid win on the field turns into something much bigger when you see the stats behind it. Stay tuned, because what's coming next for this Chargers team could be even more electrifying than what we just witnessed. It might sound strange at first, but the Chargers' biggest weakness on paper actually turned out to be one of the best signs of all. The running game just wasn't there, multiple backs splitting carries, barely cracking 30 yards each, and Justin Herbert scrambling for scraps. Under normal circumstances, that's a recipe for disaster. Most teams can't win without pounding the ball on the ground. And yet, the Chargers didn't just survive, they controlled the entire game. That's what makes this so impressive. Even with a flat running attack, they still dictated the pace, converted key downs, and kept the Raiders from ever getting comfortable. This is the mark of a team that's growing stronger in every other area: play calling, discipline, execution, and above all, confidence. Now imagine what happens when the run game catches up. If the backs can turn those modest carries into 50, 60, even 70 yards each, suddenly you're looking at a rushing attack that complements Herbert's arm and makes this offense nearly unstoppable. Jim Harbaugh's style is built on balance and control, and that's exactly where this team is headed. So while the box score says no running game, the real story is that the Chargers won in spite of it, and that's a sign of a contender. What we saw on defense was even more dominant than it looked on the surface. The run game wasn't doing the Chargers any favors, yet the defense still slammed the door shut, and that's what makes this performance so special. Negative plays stacked up like dominoes, and every time the Raiders tried to gain momentum, Khalil Mack or another defender made a statement hit, a sack, or a drive-killing stop. And when Geno Smith started scrambling? That was the giveaway, the Chargers had him rattled. With certain quarterbacks, like Patrick Mahomes or Caleb Williams, when they break the pocket you hold your breath. But with Geno on the move, the Chargers defense treated it like an opportunity, not a threat. They kept him running sideways, throwing under pressure, and ultimately shut down the deep ball completely. The secondary deserves a standing ovation. Derwin James, Alohi Gilman, Dante Jackson, Tony Jefferson, they were everywhere. Tight coverage. Timely hits. Pass breakups in crucial moments. Tackles for loss. Interceptions. It was a masterclass in discipline and physicality. Geno Smith tried to push the ball more than 10 yards downfield 11 times, and didn't complete a single pass. 3 of those throws landed in the Chargers' hands. This wasn't just a good defensive outing, it was a statement. The Chargers proved they can win games not just with offense, but with a defense that smothers and suffocates from the first snap to the last. The deeper you dig into the numbers, the more jaw-dropping this game becomes. 0 completions allowed beyond 10 yards, that's not just good defense, that's dominance. Week after week, the Chargers' defense keeps rewriting expectations. People wonder, is it coaching, is it talent, is it the scheme? Whatever it is, it's working at a level that makes opposing offenses look completely lost. And it wasn't just the secondary. In the trenches, the Chargers passed one of their toughest tests yet. Max Crosby, one of the most disruptive edge rushers in the league, lined up again and again looking to wreck plays. Yet time after time, he was neutralized. The offensive line held its ground, giving Justin Herbert clean pockets and room to work. Joe Alt deserves special recognition here. His size, footwork, and discipline are giving this line a cornerstone it hasn't had in years. That's a luxury few teams enjoy, and the Chargers are already seeing the payoff. Against a pass rusher like Crosby, most lines bend and break, this one didn't. This is what separates a promising roster from a real contender. When your defense erases the deep ball and your offensive line stonewalls elite pass rushers, you're not just winning games, you're building a foundation for sustained success. What we're watching unfold in Los Angeles feels like the start of a new era, and it's happening faster than anyone expected. Jim Harbaugh's very first draft pick, Joe Alt, already looks like the kind of cornerstone player teams build dynasties around. That's not hype, that's production. When you compare that to franchises still searching for a single Pro Bowler after years of drafting, it puts into perspective just how quickly this Chargers front office is reshaping the roster. It's not just Alt. Rookie linebacker Diane Henley is making splash plays that veterans struggle to produce, a sack and an interception in only 2 games. Khalil Mack keeps terrorizing his former team, now sitting at 12.5 sacks against the Raiders since his departure. And Keenan Allen? He's defying every expectation about aging receivers. Instead of fading out, he's thriving, making big-time catches in critical moments. Then there's Quentin Johnston. A 60-yard touchdown at the exact moment the offense needed a spark, that's what separates role players from future stars. When the game sat at 10-6 and tension was high, he flipped the momentum with one play. And the defense? It's not just good, it's historic. The Chargers joined the Packers as the only teams in the league yet to surrender a first-half touchdown this season. 3 interceptions in one game, relentless pressure, and a secondary that shuts down deep threats. This is a team built to punish mistakes and close the door before halftime. The pieces are falling into place. Young stars, veteran leadership, and a culture that demands results. The Chargers aren't just winning games, they're rewriting what their future looks like. Derwin James set the tone once again, disruptive, relentless, and everywhere at once. This defense isn't just solid, it's suffocating. Through 2 games, the Chargers have forced quarterbacks into the shortest throws in the league, an average depth of target of just 3 yards. That's not checkdowns by choice, that's desperation. Opposing passers can't even test the intermediate routes because the coverage is so airtight and the pressure so quick. 15 passes defensed. 6 tackles for loss. 3 takeaways. And against the Raiders? 0 touchdowns allowed. For all the hype about Las Vegas offensive weapons, the Chargers made them look powerless. This was domination from the first drive to the last. And the numbers back it up. The Raiders averaged only 3.4 yards per play, the 4th lowest mark for any offense in any game this entire season. Think about that. In a league built for scoring and big plays, the Chargers slammed the door so hard that every yard felt like a miracle. It's only been 2 games, but the pattern is clear, this is not a fluke. This is a defense that dictates games, breaks opponents' confidence, and forces them into mistakes before halftime. If the Chargers keep playing like this, every opponent on their schedule is going to have to rethink its entire game plan.